Hello and welcome to What We've Been Watching with me, Nathaniel, and my fantastic co-host.
Andrew, hello. How is everyone?
How are you, Andrew?
Yeah, I'm very good, thank you, mate. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm cold. You might be able to tell if anyone's watching this, they'll be able to see I'm in my thick hoodie. Nice
Udi.
and warm.
Is that
Hoodie.
is it an all-in-one thing? What is it exactly?
It's just a big. It's basically a hoodie, but it's long and it's
Okay,
thick,
nice.
and
Will
it's
you
kept
be
me warm many a nights when I'm alone.
will you be living in that for the duration of the winter?
It has been used quite a lot recently because gas be expensive.
And you can imagine the smell coming off that. It's lucky we don't have smell-o-vision yet, guys, because
We're gonna edit in. We don't need to edit them in the green cartoon smell lines. But Andrew, I mentioned that gas is expensive. Do you know what else is really expensive?
do tell.
Acquiring Warner Brothers.
Yes, okay. This is the big news, isn't it? This is
Hmm.
the potential scary news. So, at the time of recording, correct me if I'm wrong, Netflix it looks like Netflix will be acquiring Warner Brothers. Do you know the exact number? I know it's around 80 billion, isn't it?
I think it is. I want to say 82.5 billion.
And this is based on a share being something like $27 a pop,
$27.
which is a record high, I believe, only driven up by the fact that Warner Brothers is
Mhm.
being sold.
Yeah, it's. I'm surprised to be honest because I think Warner Brothers was desperate for someone to take them. So I'm
Yeah.
surprised it was this high because I think it is higher than when Disney bought Fox.
hmm
I think it's higher
It's
than
that,
that.
but I mean, a lot of people have said that David Zaslav has been planning to sell this company off in parts or some degree for some time. And
Hmm.
now this evil maniacal genius has kind of got what he wants because his shares are worth around 550 million or something. And that
Yeah.
will only increase if the sale goes through, from what I understand. So it's scary. Is it scary? I don't know. Should we be concerned?
I think there's definitely hesitancy with it. Like
hmm
I seen so this was announced on the 5th of December. So as of recording last Friday, I seen a statement from one of the heads of Netflix, Ted something, I can't remember his surname. Was like, "We will still do theatrical releases," and then less than 2 hours later, with that statement, I seen another statement where he's like, "But I'm not really sure the theatrical release is really that important." It's basically along those lines, because he's always been very outwardly, bigging up Netflix about how good the straight to streaming is and everything like that. So within 2 hours, went back on what he said.
Yeah, from what I understood, they're kind of going whatever's slated for release in the cinemas under the Warner Brothers brand will be released at least
Mhm.
in the next 6 months, let's say, because
Well, this won't be done until I think I seen the earliest this could be done once it's went to Department of Justice in America and all the other various committees it has to go through. At the earliest it could be done is the third quarter of 2026. Now, in that time, Warner Brothers are frozen. They can't make any moves. They can't do anything as a business. They are stopped from doing that.
you shown me earlier today that there is it's still I was under the assumption because you would think looking at all the media outlets and everything over the past 48 hours that this was a done deal, but it's still there's a lot of
Hmm.
moving parts, isn't there? So I know Screen Actors Guild, people like Christopher Nolan, a lot of A-listers apparently are gonna,
Hmm.
almost they're gonna talk to the courts or try and block it
Well,
in some way, aren't they?
so on Friday as well, I seen that the Directors Guild, whose president is now Christopher Nolan, trying to basically set up a meeting with Netflix to talk about this. I've seen a lot of like people who work in the industry, whether it be writers, actors, or whatever. They're being very open about their thoughts on this merger, which is quite nice to see that they're no one's sort of going, "Oh no, I might lose a job if I say anything."
I mean, because Netflix could have a monopoly on one of the most prestigious studios ever. And then,
Hmm.
of course, it's bad for the consumer, I think, whoever eventually gets Warner Brothers, because, well, competition encourages healthy prices for a consumer and it also encourages competition between studios to produce a better product. But if Netflix and the likes of Disney and I don't know who the other major player is, but essentially, if there's a monopoly on entertainment coming out of these companies and they own everything, will the creativity stop? Will it? And will it all just be at home? Or will we lose the theatre altogether?
I mean, I did see something over the weekend where basically, in terms of streaming, goes Netflix is number one, Amazon Prime is number two, and then at third is HBO Max, which I was surprised at. I was surprised HBO Max was so because it's not released in like loads of territories, which is
No.
another thing I'll come on to shortly. I have seen apparently if the merger does, it all gets completed, it all goes through. They don't plan, at least off the bat, putting those two streaming services together, which to me just feels like backwards thinking. I'm like, well, if you have this massive catalog and they're getting a massive catalog, I will get a list up soon of the various properties, the big properties they'll be getting. Well, money at the end of the day. Like, why create those two set? Why keep them separate? You know, they need to do what Disney have done with Hulu and just have it
As like a
at
side. Yeah, I mean, I mean, maybe they're thinking the consumers are stupid and that if someone identifies with HBO Max and likes their content, they would just like it wrapped in that gift box, if you like.
Mhm.
And for people that like Netflix, they just want to keep it in. I agree with you. I think if you are just gonna bring everything together, you could just have a separate window or you could eat. I don't know why it would. You can you can make it a distinct label on Netflix if you
Yeah,
wish, but don't.
because I always think if I'm watching something on Disney Plus and it's Hulu, which was previously called Star in the UK, you can notice a quality difference between just a standard Disney Plus show and a Hulu show. Like the Hulu ones, for the most part, I would say tend to be better. You would have the same thing with Netflix and if HBO was a separate sort of section within Netflix itself.
Because HBO is. This is what's crazy. Like, it's hard to imagine that Netflix is a bigger company than Warner Brothers because Warner
Mhm.
Brothers has so many different offshoots and facets, and HBO as a brand, especially for TV, it's the
Oh yeah.
pinnacle. If you're a HBO, alumni, I don't know, you know what I'm trying to say, that
Mhm.
you're regarded as top tier
You
television.
know you're
So
in for a bit of a treat if you see that grey background with the sort of
yeah,
buzzing,
I mean,
and then
you know, Breaking Bad, anyone?
the Breaking Bad wasn't HBO, pal. Sopranos, Game of Thrones, which although may have not ended the best, was HBO.
Okay. White
There's
Lotus,
White Lotus, HBO.
Succession, I haven't seen. That's HBO, isn't it?
Succession, yeah. You got the likes of Curb Your Enthusiasm, Heap. There's loads. Welcome to Derry, the new It TV show, HBO.
So I'm guessing you have a list of the properties. I mean, I know a few. Shall we look at them now? Some of the properties that Netflix will be acquiring. I'll start with one with a
Yeah.
series being made right now. Netflix will own everything Harry Potter, the existing catalog, and the future.
And let me tell you, that show, if Netflix do get it all, that show will have 2 seasons max. They're not going to be able to fulfill their plan of doing it all. Because, first of all, that show is redundant in and of itself doing it.
Yep.
But yeah, Harry Potter, yeah, they will own all of that. As well as that, a big one that we have spoken about quite a lot on the podcast is DC. Very
Yep.
least they'll own the DC film rights.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll take over the. It'll be weird if Matt Reeves' The Batman 2 finally releases and it starts with.
Well, I've got a weird. It's almost like a post-apocalyptic vision in my head now. Imagine if Netflix just pull the biggest thing ever and release Superman 2, probably the most anticipated of the DC Universe films, and just same day releases it on Netflix.
Man, I mean, see, it's stuff like that where I'm thinking about it and I'm like, because Netflix love a limited release. They just had a limited release for Knives Out 3, which
Yeah,
I did go and
everything will
see.
be in this. Everything
Very good, guys.
is for 2 weeks.
For like 2 days in ever like so limited to the point where like I've got about within decent distance of myself, I have about 5 cinemas. There was two of them that had Knives Out 3. And it was
Yeah,
very last minute sort of thrown in. You couldn't book tickets that well in advance. So that will be the case with all these ones going forward. As I say all this, I am just looking for my list because I did have it here.
we've got the Matrix, big Warner Brothers
Matrix, yeah.
cash cow. And no doubt Netflix will probably try and spin that into some sort of TV project at some point down the line. To be fair, I would argue if The Matrix is going to continue, it would only be in TV form anyway, I think, at this point.
Yeah, I don't really. I'm not a big Matrix fan, so I'm not that well versed in that universe to know where it could potentially go. TV, probably, yeah. Like,
But
I
here's
feel
the
like
thing. If
that's a franchise you could do more with than has been done.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I've got my list. I've got my list.
Thank you, because I was fresh out of titles then. I was about to say Breaking Bad again.
So, I'm just going to list off some of these. Stop me if you want to discuss any of them in depth. I'll have
Okay.
Friends right at the top.
Big one. You would think that Netflix own it anyway, but carry on.
Huh? Although it is leaving UK Netflix at the end of the year, I think.
Yeah, until next year. When he comes back, probably.
They'll have the Ocean 11 films, all that franchise. Not big hitters, but people do enjoy them. They'll have the likes of Gremlins, The Evil Dead.
See, this is what's frustrating because I swear there's been a long gestating Gremlins 3 in production for years,
Mm-hmm.
and all of these possible projects that would have gone ahead, or
Yeah.
if they're in turmoil anyway, they're now just going to be put in a
Well,
state of
that's
stasis.
with all these mergers going on, you do lose output. Like, because there's a limited release schedule that Netflix will have each year. There's only 365 days a year. You're not gonna, you've got your big releases each year. I'm trying to think, what's another new show that's come out, like Netflix original that's come out since Stranger Things came out? Nothing. I don't think there is any big one anyway. Is
Yeah, I mean, apart from the P Diddy documentary, that's made a bit of a
that it?
bit of a splash on Netflix. Yeah. Apparently, it's very one-sided, but of course, P Diddy is guilty, so the fact it's one-sided and not objective doesn't really mean anything. It's
Hmm.
everybody dislikes P Diddy at this point, so yeah,
Well, I have a confession. I don't. No, this is the one that I hadn't considered. Adult Swim. You know what Adult Swim is, yeah?
yeah, Robot Chicken, all that jazz.
Robot Chicken, Rick and Morty. They
Oh,
have a new
is that
show.
Adult? I never knew that was
Yeah, Rick
Adult
and
Swim.
Morty's Adult Swim. There's a new show. Well, I say new. It's really gaining. I've seen a lot of it this year. It's on its third season called Smiling Friends. That's adult. That's Adult Swim. They do have quite a few properties within Adult Swim itself. You'll have Tom and Jerry, Jetsons,
Yeah,
all those sort of classic cartoons.
all of the Cartoon Network, isn't it? And the
I think
subsidiaries of that.
most of Hanna Barbera would be Warner Brothers.
Is that Scooby Doo as well?
Flintstones, yeah, Scooby Doo was Hanna Barbera. Flintstones, Top Cat, a few others that I didn't watch when I was a kid, but I did watch Flintstones, Top Cat. You'll have the likes of The Conjuring, Sopranos. I'm just such a big list. You'll have The Big Bang Theory, Dune. Um, they would own The Wizard of Oz, the original film, 1939, cracking film. They would own the film rights to the Lord of the Rings. So Prime have TV, they can do the Rings of Power. Netflix will have the film rights. If they were to buy the game divisions of Warner Brothers as well, which I think is a bit uncertain whether they're going to take the games as well, they would have
See,
ET Games, which made the Lego.
I read it's included. I read they've got 3 or 4 studios that will
Right,
be backed into the deal. That's
that
what I
must
read.
change them because when I initially read it, it was like we're uncertain if they're going to do the games as well, which would be like I think it's like your Rocksteady,
Yeah, all of the Arkham games
NetherRealm,
and yeah.
there's a TT who do the Lego games. So you got all those big franchises going over there. It's just too much for one company to have.
I mean,
Like,
it's like because on the surface, and I can't stress this enough, at least in my mind, Netflix is just a streaming app. Like I don't think I fully
yeah,
understand just the amount of power they have. And, you
hmm
know, I think a good test will be for their model moving forward is what will happen to big films like June, because these films need more
hmm
than a 2-week cinema release. And if Netflix is
yeah,
smart, they will just corner both markets. Now, why
yeah.
wouldn't you? What? Like, imagine if Netflix is the only one that would have that film in streaming anyway, but now it's in cinemas. Well, either way, whether you wait for it to go to streaming on their platform or you can't wait, especially if it's a big film, you'll just go and see it because people want that to happen. So
I don't really know what the point would be if they were just to focus on being but Netflix to me, I've always thought whoever's in charge of Netflix, they always just seem to be very stuck in the mud about stuff. I recently released a video on the channel. Go and check it out. Um, the problem with Stranger Things is new release schedule because it's like 4 episodes, month break, 3 episodes, week break, last episode. Because they want to say we still do a binge model where you can watch as many episodes as you want, but they don't want to do weekly releases, which is what most of the other streaming services have changed to. They're so stuck in the mud about no, this is the way to do it. I think it's because they were sort of the originators of that. Like if you think of streaming like 5 years ago, Netflix. Obviously since then there's lots more. Your Disney Plus, got your HBO Max, but Netflix was the streamer.
Yeah, those you wouldn't consider that was it. You would just
Mhm.
have a Netflix subscription. Did you see? I think I shared it on my story the other day. That Blockbuster. No, was it Netflix? I think what was it? Blockbuster's offer.
Blockbuster could have bought Netflix
That's it.
way back in the day, but they didn't because they didn't think it was worth it. This was back when Netflix was a delivery rental DVD service.
And it was $50 million around about there, wasn't it? That Blockbusters was offering.
Like it was a low amount, I think. Like if you
Yeah.
were
Do you imagine? So, do you think in that alternate reality, Blockbusters would have done everything exactly the same as Netflix, and instead of the Netflix logo plastered on every streaming thing, they would. Well, I don't know. Maybe physical media would have lasted a few more years because why would Blockbuster just
clue.
shift? They probably would have gone into streaming, but that's an interesting alternate timeline. What would have happened? Because
I
that's
think
the other
it
thing
goes
about
one of
this.
two ways. Either it's everything as we know it, except it says a Blockbuster original, or Blockbuster buys Netflix, but still continues on the trajectory they ended up on, which is dead.
Most probably.
Yeah.
And talking about physical media, that's another thing
Physical
that
media
we
is a big one. I think cinematic releases and physical media are the two things that are really getting people sort of like,
and I've read some things saying, well, maybe physical media will continue because it's another point of revenue that Netflix could now tap into with original films from Warner Brothers. But even if it does continue, it's going to continue at a price that is significantly higher because again, they're the only ones,
Mhm.
with all of these IPs that they can now release in a physical form,
Yeah.
I guess.
Thing with the physical media one is Netflix do release physical media.
Do
I don't know if
they?
you know that, but you can get some Netflix shows on like DVD and Blu-ray.
I'm guessing
I'm
Stranger Things is one.
pretty sure, like, now I'm not sure, like, what recently they would have released on physical, but I know back in the day, before I had a Netflix subscription, I got Daredevil on DVD. I think I still have it somewhere. Not
Have you?
not in this place, but like at my parents' place.
I have questions about you as an individual. Who's not watching it on Netflix and buying the box set?
I didn't have a subscription, man. You know,
But how much was it on box set?
well, I can't remember.
I would wager that the price of that box set was a month of Netflix or maybe more.
Maybe, maybe, but also I've got Netflix now. Like, but again, I want to cancel it because it's so expensive. For quite frankly, I think most of their originals are decent to middling.
Yeah, but their films are decent to shit. And I think that's
Their
like,
films are awful. If I see a Netflix film, now I will say this with the caveat of I still haven't watched the new Frankenstein. So that one's okay.
God, that you've really just shot a fucking thing in my argument because I really enjoyed that film.
No, no, but what I'm gonna say here is that's with someone with great skill doing
Yeah.
that, who I guarantee would have loved a theatrical release for Frankenstein. But Netflix were the only ones who wanted to do it for him. So
Yeah, but the film that everybody always uses as a point of reference for Netflix as a film studio with like creative control is a Red Notice. People love riffing on Red Notice, and it
mhm.
is it is just tripe.
That
I mean,
Ryan Reynolds, The Rock, and Gal Gadot.
yeah, what a
What
what
a
a what
cast.
a I know, and there's a scene
I
I
don't
just
like The
remembered
Rock. I don't like Ryan Reynolds. I don't like Gal Gadot. God, that cast.
every scene in that film is so unusually glossy. Every background is so not there, and the glow wrap around the characters when they're in front of this obvious green screen is just so. it screams Netflix in how just superficial and how
Yeah,
quickly they've done everything the quickest way, but
yeah,
they've done it with a lot of money. That it comes
yeah. Like,
off.
what's
It's a
the other
weird
one?
dynamic. I can't quite.
What's the Chris Hemsworth one? Extraction.
It's the
No,
same sort
I
of
think they're
thing.
doing like
It's
a
this.
third one, and they're all the same sort of schlocky kind of couple of explosions, couple of ha ha ha, we're so funny moments.
It's like technically it's okay, but it still feels cheap. It's this weird
Yeah.
dichotomy where you can just tell where a lot of other films might have gone, we can do this practically. It's actually not that hard. They've just gone,
Mhm.
let's not do anything practically because it'll be a lot easier to just do it in post, and it'll still look
Arguably,
good.
it's they've looked at Marvel and went, "What if we just did that?"
Probably. Another.
But as a,
There are exceptions. Extraction was pretty good.
I'm sure some of them are decent, but when I'm thinking of like the best films of, I'll even restrict this to just the 20s, best films of the first 5 years of this decade. Am I thinking of any Netflix original films? Shit,
What?
Glass Onion
Yeah,
and Knives Out 3.
I was caught.
Ryan Johnson, why have you done this to me?
Again, that's your Frankenstein.
That is my, yeah, that's my one where I'm like, Ryan would have liked this on a full theatrical release, but he took what he could. Oh, okay. Am I coming around to Netflix films?
Come on, you're gonna have no choice soon. Everything will have boom at the start of it.
Ba-doom.
It'll have it
Yeah.
really quickly, so you'll only subliminally see it. You won't even
Hmm.
know you've seen the Netflix logo. You'll just go, "This is a Netflix film." This,
Yeah, you'll just be sitting there going, this is definitely the way Superman's fault.
yeah. This looks like it was done without a shadow of care
The way
or
Millie
love put
Bobby
into it.
Brown is standing behind David Cornsweet. Netflix.
I was gonna say, yeah, because she'll just they have the Netflix people, don't they? There's a lot of people that just appear in everything
Hmm.
Netflix.
Yeah,
Millie
like,
Bobby Brown is set for life. They're going to be making Enola Holmes for the next 50 years.
yeah. She was also in another one, a Netflix film with Chris Pratt. Can't remember what
Electric
it's
State. Oh
called. Electric
God.
State, that's it. I think it was produced by the Russos.
Yeah, and again, it's got this glossy
Yeah.
CGI feel, like nothing's grounded. There's no sets. There's no. It's just let's do it as quick as we can because it's recognizable, and we'll put all of the money into paying recognizable actors to do an okay job. And Netflix isn't the only studio guilty of this. You remember Red One? Did you watch that?
No, that's the Santa one again with Dwayne The Rock.
Yeah, Chris Evans is there, and he's Chris. And I like Chris Evans, and
Oh, you've retracted your love click.
he's just it's just another like why Red One, Red Notice. Don't put Red in the title and release it to streaming because it's just gonna be shit. I think that's
That's the rule. Although there is a film, there's two of them actually called Red and Red 2, which has Bruce Willis in a few. That's quite good. I quite enjoy
I've
those two.
seen them. John Malkovich, Morgan Freeman
Yep.
appears as well.
Aye, that's it, yeah.
The
Helen
Helen
Mirren.
Mirren. Yeah, snap. You owe me a coke. You can't talk now for the rest of the podcast. Okay, I'll release you. You can talk. You're free. Okay, so until Nathaniel starts breathing again, I'm going to sing you a little Christmas song unless he
Oh, you have to
stops
say
breathing.
my name.
Oh, is
Now
that
I'm
how it
dead.
works? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Well,
Sorry. I didn't realise that.
you didn't say Jinx anyway, so it's all good.
No, we're going to leave this in. We're going to leave this section in. We don't care.
100%.
Okay, so um, you show me another revelation in this never-ending tale of government conspiracy and entertainment
Uh,
travesties in the form of a post suggesting that Paramount are trying to pull the rug from under Netflix's feet, so to speak. And
I'm gonna get the exact wording of what I sent you. So, Paramount is launching a hostile takeover bid to buy Warner Bros. They are going directly to shareholders with a bid valued at 108.4, because that point 4 is really important for 108 billion.
yeah,
So that's 26 more billions.
have you read much about this? Because I did read a little bit about it.
I I've seen it like across the past couple of days. It's been rumored that they're thinking about doing this because initially the thought process was that Paramount would get them because whoever's in charge of Paramount currently is very good friends with a Mr. Donald J. Trump. But apparently recently, one of the heads of Netflix was seen meeting with Trump. So the speculation is that Netflix kind of swiped in, went to Trump, said, can we make sure this all goes through? At the very least, the Department of Justice and stuff like that. Because let's face it, they're not exactly an upstanding government.
What? No, they are. Like, it's a good party, it's a good leader, and they're a country only moving forward right now, I
And
think.
actually, I would just like to say, just for the incoming dictatorship that will approach the world soon, big up you, Donald. My dad's also called Donald, so
Yeah, so first off, I'm annoyed that politics is even coming into this, and the fact that,
mm.
you know, there's just all this brown nosing and underplaying by different powerful people. It does my
Yeah,
head in. Secondly, I also read that Netflix's approach, from what I understand, is more collaborative. They're not planning on sort of changing a lot, at least at first.
yeah,
Whereas from what I understand, Paramount is basically, they're not just buying shares, they would be in control of everything in
yeah,
Warner Brothers to the point that they could completely clean house and change everything. So you were right in saying it's a hostile takeover as opposed to a collaboration with Warner Brothers. Even
Also,
if
it's
Netflix,
very much the deal with Netflix already proceeding. Like Netflix have made a post about it. They emailed their subscribers about it.
yeah,
Um, and so I think it's hostile in that sense of the fact that this is already being worked about, and Paramount are like, no, we're still going to proceed with trying to take this from you.
I don't know how they could possibly usurp something that is already in place. But do you think that there is still sort of legal? I mean, I don't know. What the fuck do I know about
I think
stuff
there
like
is
this?
like I think if it's because a lot of it's going to be American, like legal systems and American legal systems based on all the legal dramas I've watched are shit. There will be all sorts of loopholes up until the final dotted line is signed and the big Netflix water tower is sitting in the backyard. The Warner Brothers water tower is sitting in the backyard of Netflix. Paramount can do whatever. They can probably finagle their way in, swipe it out, do anything. I seen another interesting thing regarding Netflix doing this, where I think I sent it to you last night. Some guy who seems to be quite knowledgeable about shares and markets and stuff like that, which I'm not. He was saying that this might not go through for Netflix, and Netflix know this. But the reason that they're willing to do this is because it stops Warner Brothers from being able to operate for a period of time. They can
Yeah,
get a
and but
competitor off the board just by. But I think they'd be fine to hell of a amount of if they had
but
that
there's
is their scheme.
I know the fine, so there's a contingency if it doesn't happen. I think Netflix will lose $5 billion.
That's it. Yes, I think it's like 5.2.
But should that happen, it's going to be a very small fry for Netflix, I think.
Mhm.
If they're offering 83 or whatever it is, they would rather, I think, take a punt and potentially lose 5 million. If the get is Warner Brothers, I think it's worth the risk for them.
Yeah, I think so. Also, I did mention there how they sent out like an email, made a big post about doing this, which I thought was really weird. They like before it's like completely done, they're already like posting going, "There's a bit of a change coming," but the phrasing of it's very sort of what's the word ominous because it's like nothing's changing today. You give us a month, we're gonna have new subscription prices. You want AdWords, you're paying 20 quid.
And that's the fear, man. And like the thing is, back in the day when streaming was a new way of watching TV, but terrestrial TV still existed, you had the option of going, I'm all right. I'll wait because it'll
Yeah.
be out on Sky Atlantic or it'll reach me in another way. But we're
Mhm.
getting to the point now where terrestrial TV, apart from your big channels at home, aren't really showing these programs anymore because they're being produced on the streamers for the streamers. So you no longer have the choice of a consumer as to what streaming service you don't want to use. We're so ingrained into this idea of a smart TV or a dongle or a Fire Stick that
Everything
eventually,
has to be like now.
yeah.
There's no waiting with anyone now. It's like I need it now. I want it at 8 in the morning.
So it's our
No more
fault.
watersheds.
Yeah, it's our fault. We as consumers have bolstered this industry, and now we're complaining because the prices are high, and we're getting adverts. But how else would we have consumed adverts if everyone's streaming all of the time? How else would you watch a TV advert other than through the internet? You won't.
Mhm.
So it was always going to make its way back into TV somehow because you can't just
Yeah, they're
get rid of
gonna
it.
like it went full circle on it. I think there's
Literally,
still a bit more of the circle to go, but right now we're at least at about 270 degrees.
eventually, well, I imagine Netflix is just it's just a skybox.
And they just eventually have. So we got this channel. We'll be showing all our sort of teenage dramas on it. At 5 o'clock, you can catch this. At 6 o'clock, we'll be doing reruns of what's a big of South
Keeping
Park.
up,
No, that's
keeping up appearances, only fools and horses.
we've come up with this new package involved in Netflix called Gold.
Yeah. On Channel 3, we've got a channel called ITV. It'll show Emmerdale, followed by Coronation Street, and then ITV News at 10. But it
Hmm.
does feel like,
Yeah,
you could just get, because they could just, like, whatever, they've got everything, so
yeah. Um,
crazy.
Shambles is the word I would use. Shambles.
Absolutely. If you were to choose one of the two who look like they are going to get it, which one is the best, the lesser of two evils for you?
I don't know if there is a lesser. I think both are bad, but I think I would veer more towards Netflix.
Yeah, I think I would.
It's it would still be shit, but I don't know. There's just something about Paramount where I think your man who's in charge is just one of Donald Trump's like wee lapdogs.
He's slimy.
So anyone who associates with that man, I'm like, yeah, no,
Yeah,
don't really want anything. Oh, I still love you guys though. When you come and do the invasion, still love you. Just gotta cover ourselves.
it's me bag.
Andrew's bowing his head for audio listeners.
Yeah, yeah, you can't hear that, of course, but we salute you, Paramount, our overlords and all-seeing eyes of
Do
entertainment and state, most probably. When we're
you
all
want to
just one big
hear?
American state. Go on.
Do you want to hear something hilarious I seen? And this was
Hmm.
posted sincerely online. Someone put up a picture of like various Disney properties and said, "Thank you, Disney, for keeping cinema alive." And I'm like, Jesus, we have bootlickers for Disney now. We have people who are like, Disney's so good. And there were genuinely people like arguing online I seen of how great Disney is, and people were saying, well, they're actually not. And then people were getting really defensive. And I'm like, they are a multi-billion-dollar company. They don't need your defense.
Yeah, they're going to be fine. And Disney did the same thing with Fox, albeit I will say
Yeah,
they're doing I think they're doing a good job at the minute. It was good to
they
see
are.
Predator Badlands back in the cinemas rather than just putting it straight to Hulu like the
But
first one.
it doesn't change the fact that while they may be doing well creatively with a lot of the franchises, there was like two subsidiaries that they just closed down completely. There was loads of layoffs because when you're merging, you're gonna have duplicates of jobs that you don't need anymore. So loads of people lose work. The can't remember the name of the studio, but the one that did Ice Age
Mate, I
originally
was
was gone.
thinking about that. Yeah, I was just about to say Blue Sky. They went.
Blue Sky, thank you.
And they released film about Scrat and the other little one. I don't know them enough. And they did their own animation style, and it was the cheapest imitation of the previous films. It was the ugliest thing I remember seeing animation wise. And not only that, all of the cast was replaced with sound alikes. I think bar
Yeah.
one. I think Simon Pegg was the only one who came back. I could be wrong, but just like that again, that's a perfect
Mhm.
metaphor for what they did to just take an IP, an existing IP. Even the frame rate of the animation was considerably lower. Like
Two
everything was
frames a
just
second.
it might as well. And I thought, you bastards, I'm not even a fan of Ice Age, but I put this on and I just thought, like, how dare you? If you own it, honor it, I think. But what are
Yeah,
you doing?
like, but then at the end of the day, it's all business. It's all money. Money is what will talk here.
And
So
that's the big thing as well with Paramount because
creatives, Yeah.
because Paramount is predominantly shareholder owned. That's
Mhm.
why it's a worse option, or a worse option rather, because they'll be beholden to the shareholders in terms of how much money they make every year.
Mhm. Like, I have no doubt whoever gets Warner Brothers will do something that I enjoy with a Warner Brothers property. I've no doubt about that because Disney did it with Fox, as you just said. But I think in the grand scheme of things, it's just a horrible sort of direction it's all heading.
If I was Netflix though now, just for shits and giggles, just just because I could, I would restore the Snyderverse and just have it run alongside
Do you know what I would?
James Gunn's.
Well,
I'd just be
actually, I did see that Netflix, if they do get Warner Brothers, there are rumors that Netflix would be willing to license out properties. So, and apparently, we mentioned briefly about how it would be more collaborative with Netflix. Like David Zaslav would not be instantly gone. He would be
no.
there during a transitionary period, which I think would mean the likes of James Gunn and Peter Safran, who are in charge of DC at the moment, they would also be safe. Because
Thing is, you
Zaslav
sat like,
called them in.
well, Netflix is a cash like. Sorry, not Netflix. DC is a cash cow, so Netflix would be stupid to kill it. It's the same with Christopher Nolan. You know, he is a big, big collaborator of Warner Brothers. He'll probably come out and still denounce it, even if it goes ahead.
He's
But then he'll,
Universal now.
oh yeah, because he
Yeah.
made a new deal,
He
didn't he? Okay,
is during COVID, the whole Tenet release that pissed him off. He just was like, "Man, no,
so
I'm off."
this is the antithesis of what he would think, then, isn't it? Which
Hence why
explains.
the Directors Guild is gonna. Because then I reckon he was sitting in his ivory tower, being president of the directors, going, "Stephen, get us a drink, would you? Marty, get the cigars out." What the fuck?
Have you seen
That's
the
what he
lead?
was sitting. And I
I
imagine
imagine,
he's still in his suit, but with a white bathrobe over him.
yeah, and it like it looks like the Justice League's lair or something. You know, there's a massive fireplace behind
Yeah,
him.
it looks like the Dark Knight Batcave, which wasn't a
Yeah.
cave, just that weird sort of skylight thing. That's what he's in, and he walks over. The thing raises from the ground, and it's another Christopher Nolan navy suit.
Yes.
That's and obviously in this scenario, the CEO of Netflix is Joker.
Yes.
I kind of
But
want to see
he'll.
this film.
I don't know. Well, I take it to Netflix. They'll be able to make it for you because no other studio will have the time or the money to do it for you. The only last thing I'll say to just close on this little bit of, well, I say little bit of news, huge bit of news for the entertainment industry
Mm.
is I'm surprised that there was never any talk of Amazon for some reason.
Yeah, I think Amazon maybe have enough where like there was no chance they could take all these properties because they have like MGM,
It's
they
true.
have a few other bits. So I think they were out. I think the reason it is Netflix and Paramount is because everyone else already has enough, with the exception of I'm trying to think Apple. Whereas they didn't try anything because their focus is not like film and TV, I suppose. So that makes
I
sense.
yeah yeah that's just it's just an extra bit of the market, I
Yeah,
think, and they
I think
produce
they
good.
have a genuine love of the game.
Yeah, I think that I was going to say I think they just produce stuff that they like, and they like the content, and good for them.
Yeah. But
Good for you,
Prime, I
Apple.
think maybe does have too much because they do have MGM, got they have the rights to James Bond, various TV rights and stuff. So I think that's why they maybe weren't in the running. Don't know that for certain. Like, I don't know what Universal's doing. Still in the back. It's going. Is something happening?
I do like the idea that they just go, I don't want to get involved either way.
Just they're just the big planet just spinning around going, my pearls, and its pearls are obviously the Universal logo.
Because if I don't want to put a bid in because we'll look silly if it gets rejected, and then I don't want anyone to think we wanted it.
They're really insecure. They're
Yeah,
like
that's
such
it.
a toxic. They're
Like
just
I
like
don't.
someone going, "Why have you not made a move on anyone tonight?" What if they say no?
I think I'm just going to quietly release my films in cinemas as planned and see what happens.
Like I'm
Shall
just
we?
gonna
Shall
stick
we
to
do it?
traditions.
Are you going to do your own streaming service, Universal? Oh, I couldn't imagine so. I don't know.
I'm
To
waiting
be
until
honest,
marriage.
yeah, I've never made an app. What if it looks silly? Would we put it on a dongle? I
Have
don't
it
know
a
what we.
logo.
I wouldn't know what to do. I wouldn't know where to start. We'll just keep making monster. We'll keep making Universal monster movies, and just ignore the
We
fact
got that
Netflix is doing the same thing.
lovely Chris Nolan. He's
Yeah,
here.
he'll just keep making big cinema films that come out every 4 years and do moderately to well.
Uh,
I was thinking the
the thing is,
same
I
though.
know
Like,
exactly how I can envision in this little sketch we've done of Universal. I can see them as a person and their dress, because weirdly I'm imagining this female.
okay,
I don't know. Their dress is just a globe with
yeah,
two arms out the side and a head on top,
she's probably watching what she drinks because she doesn't want to
a
embarrass
quivering
herself.
lip.
Maybe I'll make it up. No, not tonight. No, I'm not going to say anything until this is all over. I'll wait until a deal's gone through and then I'll decide. I'll say I was going to make an offer, but I just didn't. I was like,
But truth be told, it's not my type.
down. Well, there you go. So, as of time I'm recording, Netflix seems to be in contention. Question is to all the lovely folks listening or watching, how do you feel about this deal? Is it the end of cinema? Is it the beginning of a new type of cinema? Do you think Netflix will continue releasing, or do you think this could be the end of everything? And what do you think about the idea of Paramount possibly sweeping in at the last second? Or do you not care at all? Do you just want it all in one place at home in front of the telly? Let us know in the comment section below.
And the most important question, if you were in this situation, would you give Universal a chance?
Because they don't want to ask you themselves. You need to approach them.
Yeah, they're very introverted.
They are there.
Uh,
They've got the Fast and Furious franchise. That's why they don't need anything else. That's losing money.
yeah. But yes, do you have anything else? Any other thoughts on this merger?
No, I think watch this space. I wish Warner Brothers remained a separate entity. I
Hmm.
think it's a potential. It could affect, not just the film world but the financial world in many different facets. So I don't think we realize what. So I think this is a chain. This is a deal that will be spoke about, in 10 years, retroactively, whether that be for the good or for the bad. And yeah, it's potentially very dangerous. I don't think anyone should have the monopoly on or creative control that these streamers now have. And I think that we are partly to blame. So maybe
Yeah,
we as consumers need to change our approach if we want cinemas and things like that to continue.
just tangentially related to this, there is just one other small bit of news regarding UK. HBO Max is finally going to be coming to the UK 2026. I've seen this news, and then the next day I seen this, and I'm like, well,
Okay,
okay.
all right, that's it. Okay, great.
Woo!
Finally, and then and one day you'll go onto HBO Max and it'll have just changed to your Netflix.
It'll just say, "Dudum."
Yeah, fucking hell. All right,
Yeah.
great.
Well, folks, thanks very much for listening / watching wherever you consume this. Maybe we should buy Netflix.
We'll put a bid in.